We did it, boys! Hardcore solo self on level 90! Without playing any shit matter build! No wind torp! Self-created build, dude. Blade Vortex. Let's go. Blade Vortex check. New meta, dude. Fucking yes, dude. I got it. The softcore player did it. Wow. Insane. Holy shit. Okay, time to vow something. Time to vow something for celebration, dude. Wow, one white socket. PogChamp. That's boring, dude. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. So, yes, I know, I should have been uploading a video yesterday, and I should actually do it tomorrow. And yes, it's like 10 p.m. and I just came from the work that I'm doing at the moment, which gives me a hard time to be online currently, let's say it like that. So this video is going to be split up in like 3 parts. First of all, I'm going to want to explain a little bit about the current days, what I'm doing the past days, and also the next couple of days until the league start. Second part, yes, I know I said I'm done with hardcore solo self-found, I'm done with Flashback. Surprise, surprise, I was not. There is something I hate, if achievements are not getting unlocked, okay? So I said I stopped after character number 10. This now is character number 15. So yeah, but hey, I did it. I did the eternal achievement because there is nothing that I hate more than an achievement list where something is unlocked, besides those that I can do sometime. But when I play hardcore, at least like this was the first time I was playing hardcore, I wanted to do, this was my achievement, my challenge. I wanted to do all the challenges. Means level, I think like 60, 70, 80, and 90 on hardcore. And also, I think all the labs, right? Kill Dominos. I don't know, like, there is like, you have to do on hardcore all labs, all 4, and those until level 90 hardcore. So now I'm done with the hardcore achievements, I think. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. So, I couldn't live without it, you know? So, I said I wasn't gonna make no more character, but in the end, I ended up making 5 more, and yeah. So, second part will be all the rip clips from every character that I've played with a small explanation, why did they die, and actually what was the build that I was playing. And the third part, after the compilation of rip clips, if you're interested, I'm going to show you what this build is all about. It's basically a Blade Vortex. Actually, it's a bow Blade Vortex Juggernaut, okay? I found this one, that's why I'm using a shield now. But I want to go over this build. What was my idea about the skill tree? What was the general idea going over? And then how I managed to pull it off. What items did I use? And so on. So yeah, I think first part, information. So I'm having a hard time at the moment getting online, and that is because my father is organizing a card tournament. I just wanted to say gambling, but it's not gambling, okay? It's a card playing tournament, and he's one of the best card players in Austria here, and he plays at least like 30 tournaments in the year. He's driving like Monday till Friday, he's working, and on the weekends he's playing cards on every single location in Austria. And at some point he decided to make his own tournaments here where I live. So the problem is, if he's making a tournament, he cannot play because he needs to be the referee, and he needs to do all the stuff behind the scenes stuff, you know, with all the point system and whatever. But if I can do it, he can start playing on his own tournament because I will do all the work, right? At least like in that kind of sense, you know? And that's why I decide every year I'm helping him so he can play on his own tournament. And I will be the kind of referee. I'm just the guy sitting here taking all the points from the players and blah, 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 and mix them up. And I'm not mixing them up, so... yeah, but this is the thing why I have a hard time at the moment doing YouTube stuff, doing Twitch stuff. So my last live stream was basically when I got this one to 90. And after that, I did not stream anymore, which is like the second day I'm not streaming, and I'm feeling already like weird, you know, like every second day YouTube video, every day stream. The last couple of days of streaming were like 12, 13 hours. So it was really a lot of streaming that I did in Flashback. And yeah, I'm kind of a little bit missing everything, although it's only 2 days without playing Path of Exile, basically, so I hope I can make this build guide properly. Okay, so, next days. Today is the, let me check, the Thursday. That means in exactly 8 days, the new league is starting. What means that I hope that I can bring about 2 or 3 more videos until the league starts. I have no idea when I will be able to, because I was just like arriving like, I don't know, like half an hour ago. I came home, so the first thing was like, I need to do this video here and upload it instantly and then think about what's the next video. I do have some stuff prepared, okay? I don't really want to spoil or something, but I kind of have to. So if we go to synthesis, I actually planned to do these kind of videos in the end of the league, which is about running 100 shaper sets, what I collected already over here, to share, or at least to show the loot if it's worth or not. One other thing that I wanted to do is running... Oh, wait. Yeah, probably volleying 150 tabulas. And then running a 60 putrid cloisters. Where do I have them? Weird map. Here they are. And to see and to share the loot of 60 putrid cloister maps. And if it's worth to run those, right? And there's a couple more stuff that I wanted to do, but Flashback got me so hard, and it has been a lot of fun, and it's just actually weird that I had so much fun into this. And yeah, this is why I'm currently a little bit struggling on bringing content, but what I'm 100% sure is once Legion starts, I'm going to make a daily base video like we did in this league, right? So every day I want to explain about what is the plan for today, what did we reach yesterday, and so on. So basically, let's say I streamed yesterday, and I had a certain plan about what I want to achieve, right? Like clearing all low-tier maps, starting mid-tier maps, trying to get 3 exalts or something like that. And the next day in the morning, I'm going to record the next video saying, what did we achieve on the last day? What plans did we have? What could we uncheck? And then bringing you the plans for today, and then I want to just bring you all the process, all the good drops and stuff from the first week, because usually on the first week I'm going for Shaper and a full Atlas clear, which is 159 of 159, if we have 159 maps. Okay, so I'm super sorry if I'm a little bit, I cannot say lazy, dude. I'm working like between 10 and 15 hours every day without a day off. In the 19 or 20 days of Flashback that we have right now, I only took 1 single day off, and the rest I streamed non-stop, okay? So it's really a rough time at the moment, but yeah, you have to understand that I have some other priorities at the moment. So, okay, that's enough explanation. I apologize for not uploading yesterday. I apologize for maybe bringing 1 video less until the new league starts. But please understand that it's actually, I'm having like 2 full-time jobs, and sometimes it's a little bit more rough than it actually seems like. Okay, part 2, let's go over to all the 15 characters, 3 are live, 12 rip clips with a small explanation on how everything happened, what the build is about, and then we're gonna talk about this little beauty here, so check it out. Welcome back, and let's start with this small build guide. So fun, by the way. So if you're asking, hey, can I do this as a league starter? Hey, yes you can, because I found everything, crafted everything, whatever I have on this character as well. So that shouldn't be a big problem actually getting this one done as a league starter. So, as I was saying, it is a Blade Vortex Juggernaut full fire conversion. So, what means full fire conversion? Fire conversion means actually we are running Avatar of Fire. That means 50% of our fists, cold, lightning, whatever, is converted to fire damage. That means if you have only fist damage, you lose basically 50% of your damage, because only 50% is going to be converted and deal no non-fire damage. It means whatever we do, it's fire damage, okay? So, basically, let's say I have 100 cold damage, right? And I have Avatar Fire, means I'm doing 50 fire damage and nothing else, okay? So let me quickly show you the playstyle. I haven't played in a couple of days, so I'm just going to go Act 9 Blood Aqueducts and just show you the quick how it goes. You will notice instantly that I'm using here. I have 3 stacks of Blade Vortex. That means if I press Blade Vortex once, I instantly get 4 charges. This loads up again, having 8 charges. Having 10 charges, and now if I keep on doing that, I will always have my 10 charges up, which is actually pretty nice. So, what makes this possible? It's the Unleash support. So, Unleash will give us, like, after a couple of time, I'm getting a seal, right? And this is basically like a spell echo. So, what this means is I'm just running around, using my Blade Vortex here, and then I'm using Phase Run, and then I'm just running, right? And every couple meters, I'm just refreshing my stacks with the Blade Vortex, popping my flasks. And usually, if I do it correctly, I can just use my Unleash and then instantly go into the Phase Run. Since we're using a lot of skill effect duration, my Phase Run lasts more than 4 seconds, which is the cooldown, so I can actually permanently have it up. So the basic idea is actually waiting for 3. So pressing Blade Vortex, flasks, and Phase Run. Then we run, reactivate, flasks, Phase Run. Then reactivate, flasks, and Phase Run. So this is the basic idea how to be fast, right? What is this shit? Wait a second. I mean, whatever you do, right? These stupid strong boxes are always shit. So for bosses, we have the Blade Vortex, which everybody kind of knows, which is the circle that seeks his own targets. It's basically a usual Blade Vortex playstyle, right? Which is not bad. It's not the fastest, but it's actually super tanky the way I build it. Okay, that's enough for the gameplay. I know it's not a lot, but I actually, I just want to go through the key facts. What was this build all about? So, as I said, we are using Avatar of Fire. We are based, like, usually if you go like a Blade Vortex, it's a spell, right? So you want to have multi-spell, crit, whatever, that kind of stuff to have a huge amount of damage. If you go the other direction, if you say like, hey, wait a second, I want to spend more points into survivability, what I did, for example, right? I took like basically all available life nodes. I have Endurance Charger 3 times. I have my whole Scion life cluster. I have my resistances here. I have my skill effect duration. There is not a lot of points what I can spend in terms of damage. So what you can do is taking Ally Overload. Ally Overload means that we can crit, but we don't have a multiplier, right? So all our crits are pretty much low. But what we're gonna get is, as soon as we crit, we have like 8 seconds, we get 40% more elemental damage. Since we're only doing fire damage, and fire damage, surprise, is an element, nice pronunciation, we're gonna have a shitload of damage, right? If I would skip a lot of life notes and go for more damage, I would not take Ally Overload. I would go for crit multi, and the usual stuff you would do as a damage dealer, basically, right? So, as I said, the first thing was going for the Ally Overload, then Avatar of Fire. We now, as I explained before, if I show it right here, so let's say we have 100, let's say, fizz damage, okay? So Avatar of Fire will make 50% of all damage. What I do, fizz, cold, lightning is converted to fire damage, but only 50%, and it says deal no non-fire damage, means I can only do fire damage, right? So if I mouse over here, you see only fire damage. On every other skill that I have here is only fire damage. So that means 50% of that. So instead of 100 fizz, we now do 100 fire, nothing else, which is basically a 50% DPS loss, right? I'm not gonna talk about this ally overload and all that stuff, increased fire damage, what makes our fire damage make more damage than our fizz damage, right? So what you can do is either, like how I started it, I was using the Chernobox pillar. That means 25% of our fizz damage converted to fire damage, which is pretty nice. So now we are having 75% conversion. So we have 75 fire damage, so we only lose a little bit of damage, okay? So the general idea behind this was actually this quiver, Black Gleam. It says 50% of physical damage convert to fire damage. So we now have 50 from the Avatar of Fire plus 50 from the quiver, turns our 100 fizz into 100 fire damage, which is 0 DPS loss, right? So this was the usual thing that I was playing before, was playing this kind of state. Actually, before that, I was having, let me get this one so you kind of understand the progression of what I had to do here. The build idea was clear in the start, but so we had a tabula with the Scepter, just spell damage, fire damage to spells, increased fire damage, and this shield. That was the base situation that I had. Then, after I reached Act 9, or at least I was in mapping, but at some point I decided, wait a second, if I can use a 6-linked bow, I can replace the tabula and get something more tanky, okay? What is this shit? Fuck off. So, I can use something more tanky. I was using a chest that just had a bunch of life, like a really nice amount of life. Where do I have it? I think it had like 112 life or something like that. Yeah, this chest here. That's also from the clip, I think. Not sure. So, I was using this life armor because this has life resistance better than the tabula. So, how the hell do I get a 6-linked bow without being super RNG based, right? Pretty easy. If you go to Act 9, where the porcupines are, Act 8 basically, sorry. Act 8, bathhouse, you go here to the High Gardens. This is the place where Yugo is. There you have a lot of porcupines, but I mean, as a Juggernaut, with a lot of endurance charges, a shitload of armor, the porcupines don't really hurt. You see yourself dropping like maybe 5% HP if you jump into a pack, and that's about it. Nothing too special. So after 6 porcupine cards, you get a 6-link bow. With the bow, I decided to replace the tabula and go for a life-based chest here. And then I was thinking like, hey, wait a second. No, actually, sorry, this was the base idea, right? 6-link bow, a life armor with, I think I had like 2 cast when damage taken setups in here, using Mirage Archer, no, not Mirage Archer, the Mirage Arrow, something, the movement skill for bow characters, basically. And this is my setup, how I played. At some map, I had a Lich, and the first Lich in Hardcore Solo Self-on dropped me a Shroud. And the Shroud is basically a 6-link, right? You have the ally penetration, we're only doing ally damage, so now I'm using 5 other supports, makes it a 6-link, and that's the reason why I switched back to the Scepter plus the shield, although I'm losing a little bit of damage. But in the end, we have some Hypnotic Eye Jewels, or at least like Abyss Jewels, to get me more tanky, right? So as you see, in this situation, I have like 7k life. If I go back to the Scepter and the shield, I'm sitting on almost 7.4k. Okay, enough talking. And this one is the one that Kadiro sold me like on level 89.9. So I was 1 or 2 maps before level 90, and Kadiro sold me a Devotos, and this is what I would use right now to get more speed if I would start pushing for Demi, which I can't because at the moment I have very limited time to play the game. Okay, so that was the quick explanation. Let's go over the gems real quick. Here I have Wave of Conviction, Faster Casting, Spell Totem, and Multi Totem, which is basically just some damage support. Because the exposure that the Wave of Conviction applies as minus 25% elemental resistance, right? Which matching highest damage taken, which is obviously fire. So this is just for bossing. Some funny thing here, I rarely ever use it because I have my Wild Blade Vortex, but in future progression, if you go high tier maps and some bosses are a little bit harder, you can use that one. Then in the chest, we have Unleash support, Control Destruction, added fire damage, Blade Vortex, and Combustion support. ally focus would be more damage, but I like the ignite stuff, right? So yeah, this is actually combustion support goes very well. I usually had fire penetration support, but at some point the fire penetration was not really worth it, because for penetration you need a lot of damage, right, to really make it good. So I was more like physical is extra fire damage, because the extra damage is counted in before the conversion. Okay, so if I take this out here, we have now 1.1k, and now I put this one in, we have 1.5k, which is basically 30% more damage, which is pretty insane. Okay, then we have here a high-level cast when damage taken support with Summoned Stone Golem and Molten Shell. Molten Shell is something that's usually not used that a lot, but hey, it's more armor, so more tankiness. I like it. In the weapon, we have Flame Dash, Faster Casting, and Arcane Surge support, which is a pretty obvious Flame Dash thing. I usually run around with Phase Run in mapping, but sometimes if you do memories, you know, it's better to have a Flame Dash laying around. Okay, talking about Phase Run. Phase Run, increased duration with efficiency support and Arcane Surge as well. Why? Because if I usually, as I said, play with Phase Run, and I don't really want to Flame Dash in between to get my Arcane Surge. No, I just put this one in. So if I use my my Phase Run, I get Arcane Surge as well. So I'm not bound on my Flame Dash. The increased duration and the efficiency do both have increased skill effect duration. So the Phase Run has a cooldown of 4 seconds, so if your buff lasts longer than 4 seconds, you can basically, if I spam it, can basically keep it up 100% uptime, which is actually pretty accurate here, but it's only like 0.3 seconds at the moment, but it's still fine, right? Okay, so next one, here we have Anger, pretty obvious, then we have Cast when damage taking, Warlord's Mark for just a little bit of extra leech, whatever, you know, endurance charges, blah blah blah, Herald of Ash, and Tempest Shield. Hey, Tempest Shield, this is something I used back in 3.1 with my Molten Striker. That means when I get hit, cast when damage taken procs, I curse my enemies with Warlord's Mark and also add Tempest Shield, which helps me a little bit with blocking. And yeah, I mean, it's not a lot, I'm not a max block build or something, but hey, every single piece helps, right? What if the Molten Shell that's usually not used that often actually saved me one single time on the journey to 90? What if the Tempest Shield helped me one, you know? It's like stacking those defensive layers and try to be as defensive as possible. The rest is just like life, resistance, whatever I needed, right? Hey, we have one fusing. Aw, feels bad. Okay, so skill tree. So basically I started with the life nodes, going down here, taking the skill effect duration over here, then moving over to the next skill effect duration, because skill effect duration, like Blade Vortex without skill effect duration feels like shit, okay? So as soon as you press the button, you're not gonna feel anything because instantly it will go away. So if you spam that shit, you can basically see how you lose your stacks again. So you need a lot of skill effect duration. But after I hit the Unleash, which not works in Hideout, so if you're wondering, hey, why don't you have stacks in your Blade Vortex? The Unleash support only works outside of the Hideout for whatever reason, okay? So after level 38, getting the Unleash support, then I could replace the Exceptional Performance here, because the amount that I use my Blade Vortex and getting 4 stacks all the time kept me on my 8 to 10 stacks 24/7. So I was like, why should I use another 4 points if these nodes could be life nodes, right? So as I said, skill effect duration first priority, moving over, not taking life cluster yet, moving over, next skill effect duration, rushing to the ALE Overload, rushing to Avatar of Fire. Then the next thing was, hey, wait a second, I'm actually not that tanky. Let's take some more life nodes here. Regen, going over here for Retribution, Sensity, all with what has like life, armor, regen, right? This was the main priority I was looking for. Since we're Juggernaut and we're gonna get the endurance charges when we get hit and so on, we want to stack the endurance charges because the Unrelenting, which gives us another layer of defense with fist damage reduction, reduced elemental damage taking, and chaos resistance, was sure I want to have endurance charges, right? So then I was going over taking endurance charge, then the next one over here with the 0.2% max life regen per second per endurance charge. And the last one, after all of this was actually done, I moved down here because we don't really get a lot in here. It's like 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 points in this cluster. And what do I get? A little bit of life, a lot of useless nodes basically over here, a little bit of life, 1 jewel slot. You know, I think like those points over here just have like way more effect on my playstyle than those do. But in the end, I'm level 90, so this is the actual skill tree. Path of Building link is in the description below if you're interested in how I built this one. So what else do we have to say? Pantheon powers, we have Solaris for fizz mitigation, I don't know. Can be Lunaris 2 for movement speed, and yeah, Grid Cool for, yeah, whatever reason, some fizz mitigation as well. Okay, bandits I killed all because Elira would make sense in terms of resistance, but in the end, I don't need the multiplier. I know that I will take this cluster here as well, with more Ellie resistance. If I would lack resistance, what I don't do at the moment, I could still take for 2 points the diamond skin, which gives me also 15% Ellie resistance. But as a Juggernaut, you know, you can decide. Oak gives you like 1% regen, some fizz damage. Then you have Elira for some all resistance and multiplier. Multiplier is something I don't need. And Caitlyn, I think attack speed, movement speed or something. Not too mandatory. But 2 skill points would end up in 10% life, you know? And 10% life, I would take that over any other bandit, right? So that's why I made the decision to take those life nodes. So, is there anything else I need to explain? You saw the playstyle, boss damage, a lot of cast when damage taken setups with Molten Shell, Golem, Tempest Shield, Shade Form, what I got over here. Future plans, if I would push for a Demis, what I cannot do at the moment because I'm limited on the time, would be getting rid of tankiness. I'm so ultra tanky that I think it's a little bit overkill because I'm only running like mid-tier maps. I've done like one single high-tier map yet, but that's about it. So what do I need 7,500 life if I'm slow? So what I would do is getting back the bow, right? Getting back the bow, taking the carcass check as soon as I can link it. I mean, like, if I would 6-link this, I would still go with the shield because of the... I do a little bit less damage, but I would be more tanky, but I assume I will not 6-link it. I would just get, like this one, a double cast when damage taken setup, get the Black Gleam in, get the Devotos, unskill a lot of defense points here. I probably would remove all those like 16, 17 points over here and go into movement, speed, and damage. Because if you really want to push for damage, you want to be fast as possible, clearing maps without issues. This one is super safe, super tanky. The main goal was to level 90. I got it now, so if this character dies now, I don't fucking care. Unless it's like 1 rank before a Demi, then I would be really pissed. But I'm not doing it anyways, but that was the plan on the last stream before I stopped. Check. Enough talking. Let's finish this video. Guys, thanks for your support. I really appreciate everything you guys do, whether it's a comment, a like on the video, or if you support me on the stream or whatever. So thank you very much, and yeah, take care and have a great day.